Hi there. Today I thought I would talk about a little visitor that we have a lot periodically throughout the day. It's a stray gray cat. I'm not sure where it came from, of course, or where it goes, but it's a regular feature of our landscape. And what I've started doing is I've started putting out a little bit of food out there on the porch for it, which I think I've really made its day. It's been eating food like nobody's business. But it's kind of interesting watching it because I think it still doesn't trust me, so to speak. I think it thinks it's getting away with something that maybe like the food isn't intended for him, and it just is happenstance, it's serendipitous that it can come out there and get the food. In fact, last night I had an encounter. I was doing some writing. I was working at the computer, and it came up. I saw it come up, and it was listening for outside noises and surrounding things, and was jerking its head back. And then its head jerked up, and it saw me through the window. And I froze because I wasn't sure what to do. I almost thought I should turn off like lights and stuff. Maybe that made it feel more relaxed. But I thought that would actually trigger a flight response because it had that kind of look on it that it was getting ready to take off at any moment. And in fact, it jerked its head a couple of times. It'd start to look down at the food. Then it jerked its head back at me just to see what I was doing. Because it's probably used to people coming and banging on the window or yelling at it or what have you. So I just froze and stayed still until it felt comfortable enough that it finally went to the food and started eating. And then it left. But the reason why I just bring this up is I'm just thinking about how we treat creatures in general, our fellow human beings, not just animals. But part of my work, and I'm getting ready to go to work right now, is canvassing the neighborhood. So I walk in all kinds of areas of town, and it really is kind of bothersome how much is like we extract from communities, we take from communities, but then we don't give back to communities. I see a lot of poor buildings. I see a lot of, ironically, basically castles amongst fiefdoms. You see these really nice houses amidst rubble, basically. And I see things like the superintendent getting paid all this money of schools, all these high-level people getting paid all this money, yet you see things falling apart, school buildings falling apart, things privatized, people coming in from outside the community making money off the community and the hard work of communities, and not contributing to them. And it really kind of bothers me on several different levels. Well, where it gets back, I tie this back to the cat on a more simple individual level. Sometimes I'm putting out the food, and it may seem kind of silly because Gary and I right now don't really have hardly any means, So on the one hand, it becomes a question like, how can we afford to give this a poor cat food when we can barely take care of ourselves? But the point of the matter is, the cat was born into existence, just out of no control of his. It just happened to be the circumstances that he was born into or thrown into by maybe some owners, into this situation where he's having trouble, foraging. You can tell he's having trouble by the scrawniness of him. And so the question then to me becomes not so much how can we afford to, but like with the community in general, when I think of contributing to the community, I think, how can we afford not to? Thank you.